So this is what you need to do to find the best gear for your character. Not every gear is the same, and you can use this lithograph book to figure out which is the best for you. Now the lithograph is gonna have almost every single item in the game in it. I'm pretty sure it has every single item in the game, but I don't wanna put my foot in my mouth. For the sake of this video though, I'm gonna just focus on the purple items, but this will go for all the other items. All right, so how do we do this? How can we get the best items for us, right? So let's take a look at this sword and shield. It has a 46 to 85 damage. Its damage reduction is 18. We don't really care too much about that, but let's look at the bottom where it says strength 6, barbarian bonus damage 8, and then max health is 1000, right? Like, that seems like a really good item to have. Good damage, good reduction, it has the stats that I like. Well, you can use this same menu to look at the other sword and shields. So let's just say we find another one right here. This is another one, right? Oh, 60 to 115 bonus. Wait a second. Azrael's illusion restores 8 stamina whenever attacking with shield throw, or restores up to 5 times per cast. And then you have 6 strength and then mana regen. Okay, so maybe you're using a build that requires a ton of mana and a ton of stamina, and you want to increase that. And this actually does more damage, but you'll notice the reduction is smaller. Every single item in the game should be in these lithograph books, which means you can really cultivate and have like the best character that you like for your skills and your setup. Look at this one. This one actually changes your ability. On shield strike, stun the target for 0.3 seconds. This ability doesn't have a stun on it, but using this item lets you stun a target for 0.3 seconds. And the damage is higher than the first shield that you had, right? And this goes for every single weapon in the game, every single armor in the game. It's all right here. When stunned, trigger petrification, freeze for 1 second to protect the user. Like, what in the world is all this nonsense that we just don't know? A lot of the times when we go to farm good items, we assume you have to get it in dungeons, or you have to go to the abyss to get them, when all the time that's not true. If you want to know how to get a specific item, what you can do is you can click the item right here, right? And you can see in the bestiary, it's gonna let you know where to get it. So I can farm this at the skeletons in Runes of Terrain, or I can get it by killing the giant ravenous zombie in Runes of Terrain, right? We can also craft it if we have the obvious lithograph paper, and then you can even look at the auction house to see if it's on sale, which it is, and the lowest price is that right there. Now, some of them won't drop, and the other way you have to get them is by finding all these items or getting them here. Realistically, if we go back, I don't believe that hood was part of the item. So let's just check here real quick. And lo and behold, this hood was not part of any set at all of this. The only way you're gonna get this is if it drops, if you buy it, or if you do the lithograph. So this is why it's also important to check the blue, because if you check the blue and you scroll down, you can actually see more items that might not be on that purple side. So checking every single page, in my opinion, is very crucial, because there's some items that you just wouldn't know existed unless you go here. So let's just say we're trying to get this item, but we don't want to get it through the lithograph. How do we do it? Well, right here you see all menus. On my controller it's L3, but depending on what you play, it's going to be different. We can go down to acquire from, and it's going to tell us, okay, the black bear in Pure Light Hill, right? I can get this hood from the black bear and Pure Light Hill if I farm the boars. That's all it takes. Or I can do this lithograph, right? But as you noticed, if we go to it, acquire from, it's not acquired from anywhere else. So you wouldn't know this existed unless you went to the auction shop, or you happened to find it with the black boar, or you just came here. This is why it's important to use the lithograph book to see which item is best for you, and then focus on actually getting that item, because the game doesn't actually tell you all the items. You do have to go look through places to figure out, oh, that's an item, oh, that's a shield, oh, that's a cloth. I didn't even know you can put that as an armor. Like, some of these things are not shown to you unless you come here. This is exactly how I found my armor, and what I like to have on my character is by going through here, seeing if it's droppable, seeing if I can make it through the lithograph. Even when I'm doing the greens, trying to make something to blue, I've done that as well. So check this out. This is the best way, in my opinion, to find the armor that you want for you, especially if the armor or weapon makes a trait for your ability. That's like one of the coolest things ever. I'm glad that's such a unique mechanic in the game, but they don't share that with you. You have to find it. Not all items are created equal. As I showed you before, some items have more defense, some items have more offense. The numbers are not the same. Just because they're all purple doesn't mean they have all the same stats. Just because they're all blue, all the same stats. Some things have higher defense, some things have higher offense, and that's not even factoring in the trait. Some stuff just has better defense and offense. Some stuff just has better damage than others. That's all it comes down to. I appreciate you guys watching as always. Until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for doing what? Popping often. Well, often.